Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing my May film and TV wrap up, so let's get started. So the first film I watched, I feel like I spoke about this in my last wrap up, but I mustn't have done because apparently I watched it in May, and that was The School of Rock. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, and I definitely needed a really good Jack Black film to kind of get over my traumatic experience with Goosebumps that I watched last month. And honestly, School of Rock, it just hit the spot for me. I love that film. I think I've always really enjoyed this film, and I definitely feel like I should put it on my favourites. It's just such a feel-good, funny, it's amazing. It's a really good film. I think a lot of people already know what this is about, but basically, like, the simplest way I can explain it is a teacher who's not really a teacher, he's a fake teacher, but he's a guy that kind of needs money, and his roommate's a teacher, so he kind of steals his identity, which sounds really alarming, and goes to this really posh school and teaches them, but he doesn't teach them because he's not a real teacher, so he does the only thing that he can do, and that is teach them about rock music, and he basically makes them a school of rock. It's great fun, and obviously the fact that he's a fake teacher has its consequences, but it's really amazing. I really did enjoy it, and I think I'll always enjoy watching that. It's a great pick-me-up film. It's so funny. So as I said, I gave that a 5 out of 5. The next thing I watched is something that I went to the cinema to see, and I have a review of this on my joint channel with Joe, which is Ninja Joe, so I'll link that around if you want to watch that. We went to see the new Captain America film, Civil War. I also gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, this was absolutely amazing. As I've said, I've done like a spoiler discussion on this already, so I won't go too much in depth in how I feel about it because I've already spoken about that. But basically the story is kind of following a division between the Avengers and kind of how far they will go to try and prove that they're right and kind of see their own justice, but they all have kind of very different opinions on a particular, I guess, crisis or situation that has made the split between the Avengers happen. Honestly felt like it was so much darker than any other Marvel film that I've watched of late. It definitely added to the believability of it, and it's definitely a must-see if you're really into kind of realistic superhero films. Again, 5 out of 5 stars. Really thoroughly enjoyed that. So glad I went to see it. And then I saw something on the telly. Someone had recorded it in my household, and I thought, well, my mum stuck it on. I was like, okay, well, it's on now, I might as well watch the whole thing and see what it's about. And that is called Disney's Teacher's Pet, and this was back from 2004. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. So it's kind of like a musical about a dog called Spot, who's quite literally the teacher's pet, and he wants to be a real boy, kind of reminiscent of, you know, Pinocchio and his story. He goes to school with the teacher's son, you know, his other owner. I think he's called Leonard or Lennon or something, I couldn't quite catch that. And Lennon or Leonard craves for his dog to be a real dog. So he goes to the school with him and he dresses up as this kid. So he's like, it's really confusing. He dresses up as a kid called Scott rather than Spot, and obviously the child, his young boy owner, knows this about him, but everybody else doesn't, which is strange because for one, he's blue, and for two, he's a dog dressed up as a human and talking. How can you not notice that? And in the opening scene, he's basically talking about his summer plans with the class. The class, it initially hit me that they certainly have some very strange characters, so maybe that's why they don't think too much about this walking, talking blue dog, because the rest of the characters in that class are very odd looking. I definitely recognise some voices, such as Mike Skrozowski, I think that's how you say it, from Monsters Inc. I think his voice is the dog slash boy, the boy dog thing, Spot slash Scott or whatever his name is. Definitely sounds like him. And then there's this voice I hear everywhere. I think it's you know, in the Rugrats, you know, Angelica's friend, I think her name's Susie, or they're not really friends. I hear that voice everywhere, and I think she plays, or that actress plays, this weird amphibian wannabe kid, this really weird kid in the film. It's definitely got that voice to it, but I never remember the actress's name or anything like that, but I could just hear it. And I think I also hear Kitty's voice from that 70s show in the mum slash teacher. In the first couple of seconds of this film, I was really doubting that it was a Disney film. Like, honestly, it didn't strike me as one. I think the production just seemed very different, like the way the film was presented. It was like they had these really obnoxious, kind of aggressively obnoxious characters, and it just felt like it was going to bust out with some rude jokes or something like that with the way they're talking, especially the pet bird, which actually reminds me in acting, like is it Diego from Aladdin? Kind of reminds me of that. The humour and the drawing style was all kind of not what I was expecting for a Disney film as well, so it left me very confused at the very beginning. It had a decent enough plot, though clearly it's been done before, and although it was funny, my overall experience is that it was kind of annoying. And though it was entertaining, you know, with some of the humour in that, probably wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again. So yeah, I give that 3 out of 5 stars. So now I am going to stop babbling on about film and talk a little bit about TV. So as I'm filming this, there are a couple of days left in the month of May, so hopefully the one in particular that I really want to talk about, I'd have finished by then. So yeah, I want to quickly talk about The Man in the High Castle, which is an Amazon Prime exclusive. I had like a trial going on, so I took advantage of that and decided to watch that, and yes, I've cancelled it and everything. I'm watching it through other means at the moment. I've got like 3 episodes left, and so far I am really loving it. I just wanted to mention this somewhere because I don't think I'm going to do a full review on it. I haven't done any notes or anything like that, but it is amazing. Basically it's a alternate history where is it the Axis powers? Anyway, Hitler and Germany and Japan won the war, World War II, and basically it's that kind of alternate history where America's being populated with German territories and Japanese territories, and kind of how that works. But amongst that, there's these like mysterious kind of like, I guess, propaganda films being sort of sent around the resistance, trying to kind of bring to light that things aren't what they seem, kind of thing. And oh my god, it's amazing. As I've said, I'm on like episode 8, so I've got about 3 more episodes. It's only a 10 episode series, about 1 hour in length each, and it's so amazing. I would definitely suggest to watch it, even if you're not like a history buff, because I mean, I enjoy the occasional history. I didn't do that bad in the exams, but it's very interesting to see a different kind of world and how things could have gone if, you know, certain countries had lost. So it's definitely an insightful thing, something that could have happened. It's very believable, and I'd highly suggest that. I'm just going to give it a 5 out of 5 because I think it's amazing. Me and Joe, we've been watching Bates Motel for a little while now. I think we're on the current season. I'm not too sure. Is that like 3 or 4 or something? We're on the current season. It's really great. Basically, it's like it's a bit difficult to explain. It's based on the film / book. I think it's a book called Psycho, which I haven't seen, but Joe's seen. It's like a horror film. You all probably know about it. I don't, but I know kind of the ins and outs. What you need to know, basically. And it is amazing. So it's following a young Norman Bates trying to get a new life together in a new town, running a motel and stuff, and obviously sinister, creepy things are happening. It's very kind of eerie. I wouldn't say it's a horror, really. There's nothing fantastical or supernatural about it. It's just kind of like murder mystery sort of thing, but it's not really a mystery. I don't know how to describe that genre, to be honest, but it's very kind of creepy, but it's not going to keep you up at night, if that makes sense. I think this is a must-see. There are some cringy moments, especially between Norma, which is Norman's mum, and Norman. Definitely some uncomfortable scenes, but it is definitely, how many times have I said definitely? It is a really awesome show, and I've been enjoying it. I think they show it on, I want to say they show it on Netflix. Yeah, I think that's how we're watching it. But it also comes on Fox or something like that. I might be wrong there. But yeah, really great show. And lastly, something that I've made kind of significant progress in is Pretty Little Liars. I'm a little way into series 4 now. Like, I'm determined to get to the end now, or however current, because I think it's still ongoing, isn't it? But every time throughout the years I started Pretty Little Liars, I'd stop and forget what episode or what series I was on, so I would have had to keep starting from the beginning again. So I've watched, I think I've definitely gone up to series 4 before, because I have remembered quite a few episodes in the previous seasons, and I've definitely seen a few of these episodes that I'm watching now. But it's definitely good to refresh my mind, because I have quite a gap between wanting to start again. So yeah, I'm hopefully going to just continue and carry on and make note of my progress of how far I go, so if I ever do stop again, at least I know where to start from. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Most of you probably know what Pretty Little Liars is about as well. Please no spoilers, don't be that guy. But yeah, it's about these group of girls who their friend Alison goes missing, and it's kind of like hanging over them forever pretty much. They get blackmailed, they just can't seem to escape that kind of bad lighting. So yeah, that's a really cool one. It's more of a kind of high school setting sort of thing. So I mean, there are serious things happen in it, but it's one of those shows that I can watch lightheartedly, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not theorising any plots or anything like that. I'm not that into it, but I do enjoy it. So yeah, that's all that I've been kind of really watching this past month. Let me know what you've been watching, and I think this is going to go up before my book wrap up, which is strange because I don't usually do it in that order. Stay tuned for what I read during May if you're interested in books. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye.